And right now, 6 points against BYU can seem like a lot, Carly. What does Portland need to do to try to slow things down for the Cougars? Robbins tries to get a kill on that swing. It's an overpass. Busso gets the kill on the touch of the...
Get even a touch on that.
Well, that was 6'4" versus 5'11" right there. Heather Knighting will have that advantage over Maui Robbins as she was going up on a solo block. It's Knighting back to serve for BYU. High pass for Robbins to take. Went over the block. Dug by Knighting.
Ooh, some miscommunication there.
Lots of miscommunications by the Cougars on their side of the net. Robbins swings through the block. Knudsen on the dig. Tough rotation by Livingston off that swing. Back row attack for Portland. Back out to Livingston. She got a full swing on that one and gets the kill. Larness and Livingston swinging for the Cougars. Larness out of the middle.
That is a fast offense.
I see exactly why Whitney Bauer was the 2021 Center of the Year in the West Coast Conference. Back set to Charity Bradley. Soft touch off the block, and Larness returns with a kill out of the middle. Charity Bradley, who's playing middle, is the best bet to go against her, standing at 6'4". Tight pass. Helm dumps. Push to the outside. Robbins has to send a free ball over. Back set to Grimmer.
Ball anywhere, and so I mean she can just pick and choose and mix it up. It just makes it really hard for the defense of Portland.
Outside to Robbins. Goes cross court. McCumber on the dig. Tip over the block. Kept alive by the Cougars. Grimmer goes line, and the dig by Zilbert. Bauer saves the dump. Grimmer swings high and long. Lead for BYU as Maui Robbins goes back to serve for Portland. Off the net and a service. Cougars. Livingston Jr. from Corona, California. High now for Harris. She goes hard cross, covered by the Pilots. Tipped over the block. And McCumber hit the date. She too has BYU connections as her father played basketball at BYU. Back set. Grimmer into the block. Livingston stays with it. It looked like it could have stayed on BYU's side. Harris went hard, cut. I mean, looking at the front row right now, Knighting is 6'4", Stowell is 6'2", and Grimmer is 6 foot. I mean, everybody's over 6 foot for BYU right now in the front row. Slide for Emma Sweat, and she'll get the kill. Helm serving for the Pilots. Bauer runs cross court, puts it high for Stowell. Took some speed off of that one and gets the kill.
On the sidelines.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They're pumping that AC in here.
Yeah.
Montoya serving. They give it back to Harris. Hard roll over the block. Stowell. The overpass by Zilbert kept alive by the Cougars. The slide for Knighting. It's blocked by Portland. The dump. And it works for Bauer. You're so worried about the height up at the freshman from McKinney, Texas, into the game in the back row for Aaron Livingston. Quick pass, they give it back to Harris. Deep roll shot, and it's past the end line. Back to serve after the timeout called by the Portland Pilots. Trailing by 11 here in set number 1. Good pass from Harris. Slide for Sweat, went down line and yes, they do get the kill. It was probably on the outer half of that line.
For sure. But any part of the line is in.
Yep, doesn't need much. Set to the outside, Stowell gets the kill.
Have a little bit stronger ball control. It's just going to help them up at the net when they're hitting against the wall of the block.
Yeah, it all starts with the passing. There's a good one from Zilbert. Feed to the outside to Robbins. Straight down on the block. and almost covered by the Pilots. But
another thing, though, is if they have good passes, then the setter could maybe mix it up, set the right side, set the middle a little bit more, so it's not always going to be outside. BYU can then not just anticipate so quickly. The more options you have makes the block a little bit more challenging.
But it's all about deceiving. Heather Knighting back to serve. Back set to Busso into the block, covered by Portland. Back row attack for Harris. Split the block. Push to the outside. Livingston gets the kill.
Livingston cuts it down the line.
Kate Pryor. 21-8 here in set one. Knighting serving. Good set by Helm. The feed to Charity Bradley. Bauer heads into the announcer's table. And Portland will get the kill. Watch for a quick from Callahan. If I was reading Coach Knight's lips correctly, Helm will put a high one for Yellen Larson. She gets the kill off.
Can go a long way.
Robbins back in the game. And puts it into the net. Just a sip. And Sophia Callahan back to serve. Callahan with the service error.
Their team doesn't have to do anything to earn that point. So it's something that Portland really needs to focus on.
Short serve by Bradley. Bauer feeds Pryor. It's tough to stop for anybody at the net right now for Portland. McCumber serving. Outside to Harris. She had it quick enough to beat the block, and she gets the kill. And I think that's a
hit and things like that.
So set point. 24-12. BYU leads. Knighting will get the kill as she goes left back, swinging arm side, and that will end set number. Are in the in the back row.
Couldn't decide whether it was front or back.
Yeah.
Brunk.
Outside to Harris, and she gets the kill to start off this set. So the Busso, Bradley, and Harris for Portland. Helm, Robbins, and Zilbert in the back row for UP. Zilbert served. She tried to go cross court with it, and it caught tape and straight down. BYU hit 607, which is absolutely blistering. They had 18 kills out of their 25 points. And the overpass put down by Heather Knighting. We saw them practicing that.
Well,
oh, yeah. So there was some confusion between Robbins and Helm on sending that free ball over. Good high set by Zilbert for Harris to take it. Covered by the Pilots. Back to Harris. And put back down by the Cougars. That's back into the ball was on that side of the court. It's sort of the easiest set. You don't want to have a far back set. Good save by Charity Bradley right there. But you don't want that long back set to a freshman. You don't know if they're ready. Do you have the same chemistry? Good up by Helm. Busso, the roll shot, middle of the court. Bauer puts it to the outside, and Stowell will get the kill. Career high is 8. Montoya serving. Back set to Busso. She had to cut across. She gets the kill. To the freshman. Yeah, for the freshman who hasn't played a whole lot early in the preseason. Now getting some run here in conference play as Mumolo sends one into the net.
Yeah.
Knudsen, the grad transfer from St. Mary's, back to serve. Outside to Harris. Went down line, beat the block.
Great serve receive pass. Makes a setter get to really finesse a little bit.
Knighting had a solo block. It's an overpass by Mumolo, taken by Aria McCumber. Livingston, hard cut. Dug by Zilbert. And Bauer.
All right, that makes more sense.
High set by Helm. Great execution right there on the Pilot. Now she's middle blocker coming in with Emma Sweat. So you'll see her move around a bit up at the net throughout the season. That's an overpass. Helm with the swipe, and she'll get the... She was a part of 4 Washington State teams that qualified for the NCAA tournament, so she knows what it takes to get the most out of it. Grimmer on the pass, back set on the slide, it's Larinus. Helm tried to put it over. Larinus, the SOA block, was ready for it. 2 rotation with Portland. They have 2 setters, but we haven't seen Marlena Catalan yet. It's been all Noelani Helm. Goes to the outside to Yellen Larson, the dig by Knudsen. Livingston gets the kill. There was a gap saying only 1 setter for Portland, so you can see Helm go up to dump right now. She's in the front row. And the freshman Yellen. Back set to Busso. And Portland is starting to hit a rhythm. Helm has found out. So after losing set 1 25-12, it's now 8-all here in set number 2. Tight set, covered by BYU. Livingston got a touch off the top of the block. Larson tips over the block. Bauer first touch. And the cut never made it over the net from Livingston. This is what you wanted to see out of the Pilots after dropping set 1 in the fashion that they did, as that serve is long from Helm. 3 hitters in the front row for Portland. Larson, Busso, and Sweat. Tight pass at the net and just over the arm of Sweat. Busso was there to recover for Portland and put down by Larinus. BYU retakes a 1-point lead. And aced.
You jinxed it, Brian.
I did. Back to serve again. She's got 5 kills so far today to go along with 2 digs. Larson, good pass at the net. Outside to Busso. Getting the kill again. She's having herself a career day. And we're only in set number 2. Missed. And usually that just comes down to somebody being more confident and boisterous. Yeah, exactly.
2 people call it. Whoever calls it louder gets it.
Bradley at Washington State. Great serve, but a better pass. Bauer sets the middle. Heather Knight. Cougars just about halfway through set number 2. Float serve. Pass by Zilbert. Back set to Busso. She's had success. Back set to Grimmer. Montoya serving. Harris blasts one into the block, covered by Busso. There's a tip. Stowell kept it alive. Cougars are hitting the deck. Deep tip by Harris and past the end line. You like 12 lead currently for BYU over the hosting Portland Pilots as Montoya long on that serve sends it out. Lumoa came into the season competing with Zilbert for the starting libero position. And a big opening in that back left corner.
It's just because they're working hard.
Pass from Robbins, the dump from Helm. Grimmer got the first touch, tipped out of the middle by Knighting. And that's long, past the end line.
Bauer's in front row. I mean, she is a hitter for BYU, so the block has to stay with her.
Yeah, you have to be careful. Livingston goes line over bench. Knighting leads this Cougar squad in aces this season. High pass from Zilbert for Larson to take. That was Livingston, not Grimmer. Just as Livingston gets the kill.
She's like, I can play.
Bradley heads to the bench, and Bauer will now go back to serve. Preseason first team selection. Covered by the Pilots. It's tied up in the net. Helm smartly swipes it to the right. Zilbert popped it up. It's going to take a miracle from Mumoa, and she just doesn't have it. Come back onto the court for that when everybody was chasing it, which is what you want to see out of your club.
And the bench had to like spread.
Yeah, get out of the way. Slide, and the cover is the head coach for the Portland Pilots. That's Megan Burton in her 3rd season at the helm. And a timeout. Give that point to Coach Burton. When you take a timeout, normally you'd think it'd be so easy to get back into that groove if you're the other team, but it really does slow you down as Helm puts one into the net. Livingston, the deep float serve. Good up right there by Helm. And the communication between...
Whoever has a better view of the court, take that ball.
Yeah, and you'd think that'd be Harris. She's facing the court at that point. Deep serve, and that one's out of... She's had a bit of trouble at the service line today. Already 3 errors. Good pass at the net. Set to the middle. Back set to Busso. Into the block and down. There. And Stowell wanted to get the tool off the block, and she never... And
any rotation change,
exactly.
That kind of thing.
Robbins on the serve. Cross court. Dig by Robbins. Back set to Busso. She has to come in. She tried to tip it over the block. And option she had. McCumber behind the service line. They feed it back to Harris after she got the pass, and a touch. That'll be a point. Very different from the first half here. Carly, what has Portland done that's really kept them here in it in set 2?
Well, taking advantage of some of the momentum, like just getting a couple of points or staying in these long rallies. And I feel like their ball control, they're doing a good job so that
we're ready to set her on the court against BYU. They feed it to Bradley. On the touch of the and that'll be a point for BYU.
Did in the second game versus the first game so quickly.
And we did see a lot of those soft blocks benefit. Well, it was fortunate. They had defenders for Portland. And another serve, get it, and it's just missing the end line. Like, you'd love to see those if she gets up there. That's how you're getting your service error, but a lot of these haven't even gotten over the net.
Right, and then they have to make no decisions. They just get a point, 3 point.
Which actually leads all hitters in today's match. And found out. Stowell gets the kill. So perfect pass here in set number 2 by McCumber. BYU's 9-3 on the season. There are 3 losses so far. It's Harris, the deep tip. That one caught the end line. That'll be a kill. Good volleyball team. See why they're ranked top 15. Knighting.
And it's a tough season, too. I mean,
and it's San Diego, who are top 25 teams as well. That cover for Portland. Man, they really are setting themselves up for success with such a hard non-conference.
You got to play the best to be the best.
Exactly. And that is a service error by Robbins. Only 1 ace in today's match. That's a tight pass. Helm puts it over. McCumber got a fist on it. Livingston went line, and it's out of bounds. Larson checks into the front row for Robbins. Bauer sets the middle. BYU. And it's Grimmer actually to serve again. She's done some good pass. Livingston will go back to serve. Kills so far today to serve again. Robbins will come into the on the exact.
We'll call it.
Tough serve from Bradley. High cross court pass to Stowell, and her tip never made it over.
And if it did go over.
McCumber. Bradley at Washington State. Back set. Grimmer gets blocked. And the first one for the Pilots today. Stowell blocked, covered by McCumber. Deep tip. Bradley on the dig. Outside to Larson. The freshman trying to go back. There's some life inside the Child Center as the Pilots are on a 4-0 run. The short serve. And BYU, the scrappy play, saves it from being an ace. The tip from Larson coming in. It's Bauer. Dry up from Robbins. The tight under the net. Held went for the swing, and it's blocked. Bench, and Bauer will now go back to serve. On the slide, it's Sweat. Tips it over the block of the net. Just what the Pilots needed. I don't know about you, but that Cardinal sin.
As a back row player, I hated that. Those are my balls.
Pilots, that's make.
Love it.
That's his yelling. Out of the sophomore from Woodland, Washington, and a kill by Stowell on the outside, and that one's out of. Montoya with 3 digs so far, and that's a service error. Out of Yellen Larson. BYU took set number 1. Lead by Stowell. The block. Stowell. Deep tip. Well, you need advantage.
Not too shabby.
Great pass from Zilbert. Harris goes a line on a roll shot. Livingston on the dig. Stowell gets the kill going cross court. But she's in her 8th. Just grad student from Valencia, California. Former All-WCC honorable mention.
It's a smart idea.
Last season. Robbins runs through it. Set to the outside to Harris. Hard roll, middle of the court. And the down ref called that ball down, but the ball's still in play. And straight down, Livingston and Knighting get the block. And Coach Hess is now going to get an earful.
Yeah.
She can go 2 for 2 today. So 4-point lead right now for the Pilots in set number 3. Back set, Knighting goes cross court, that's up! And the free ball sent over by Portland. That's tight at the net. And a cover by BYU. Another block for Portland!
Back to back.
Swipe left or right when you go up for a joust. Set to the middle, it's Bradley. Dig by Grimmer. Livingston goes cross court, Zilbert in the right spot. Busso the tip. Livingston winds up off the soft block. Harris gets the kill. Woo! And the Pilots back up by 5. It's 14-9. Busso serving. She leads all hitters with 10 kills so far today. Outside, Livingston. The roll from Harris. It's a slide from Wareness.
Back behind her body to get that over, and still slams it down.
High pass from Mumoa for Harris. Harris wants a touch, nothing called at the net, but still couldn't hear.
We're leaning in, trying to be like nosy neighbors, like trying to
53-20 B.
What's going on?
In it and set. Pass from Zilbert high to Harris. She tips it inside the block. Wareness swings on the second opportunity.
I feel like their job so that
hit by Bradley. Knudsen the roll shot. Outside to Harris. Another heavy roll by Jade Harris with a 4-point lead. Great pass from BYU. The slide for Wareness. She had to poke it over.
their setter makes him just
battle like baseball line.
it doesn't show.
Off the block. Zilbert stays with it. We did see a lot. Back row attack for Harris. Roll, and it found the back. Livingston serving. And can't fire. Helm, because normally you've got two setters on the court, but does a great job of mixing in the dump. Well, gets awareness. Mumoa gets the dig in today's match. Larson uses a block, gets the kill. Number 5.
A season, too.
Come to the almost gets the ace. The volleyball team. Free ball sent over. That's an overpass. And a good block by Helm. 3 losses. That soft block saved it for Portland on that side of the net. And it doesn't matter when Grimmer gets a kill like that. Right. It doesn't. That ball is going straight down for BYU.
We saw it in warm-ups.
And aced. Just the second time today. BYU since that home win back in 2016. They've been swept in every match since that 2016 win. Right. Tipped into the block, covered by Bauer. They're going to give it back to Stowell. And she gets the kill. BYU is on a 3-0 run inside the Child Center. Brian Slyke and Carly Dumanin with your call. Out of the timeout and called by Portland. Outside to Larson. Players.
Stoic.
Yeah, that's probably the better word for it. Good pass from Mumowo. They feed Larson. Roof. Here, instead of it being 18-all, now it's 19-17. That's a 2-point swing. The fans are getting loud here inside the Child Center. They want a victory here in this set. The dig by Helm. Into the block. Busso tried to cover. She was drawn too far in. Knighting will take that swing from Harris and cross court out of bounds. Portland only needs 5 more points. The problem is BYU is really good at what they do.
Yes, they are. I'm shaking on the sideline.
Serve, trailing by 1.
Beautiful pass.
They feed it to her. And that ends up
being a lift.
A lift.
Looking at that ref like, no, that's out, or no, that's a kill.
She's got so much passion for this game. There's a block covered by Livingston. It's an overpass. Outside to Harris. Tried to get the tip over the block, and it never made. Busso and Bradley, along with Harris, swinging for Portland. They feed it to Bradley. Outside, Livingston gets the kill. Again, Portland going for their first set win against BYU since 2016. That pass will take Helm out of bounds. She chases it down, and Zilbert sends over a free ball. Slide. The dig by Helm.
One arm.
Busso tip into the block. She gets her own cover. The dig by Robbins. Deep tip into the corner. And the Pilots retake the 1-point lead.
And they just stayed with.
Busso now back to serve, but we haven't seen serve. Decent float though. Outside, Livingston straight down. Who's playing scared right now? Because Portland is coming after BYU.
With everything they've got. I love it.
Another strong serve from Busso. This will get the Cougars out of system. Free ball. Can the Pilots take advantage of it? Another deep tip by Harris, this time too strong. Umoa will come in for Busso. And I thought maybe Busso was serving because Portland was out of subs, but with Mumoa coming in, that's not the case. Outside to Harris. She goes cross court. And that's what the referee did. It's just funny how that usually evens out.
So the ball doesn't lie.
Yeah, ball does not lie. Bauer on the serve, out of
right.
the replay. Dump by Helm, back set. Grimmer. That'll be an overpass. It goes out of bounds. Into the block. Inside the Child Center, Whitney Bauer back to serve for BYU. 24-23. The Pilots trying to stay alive.
Stayed with it.
The errant pass kept alive. It'll be Busso now back to serve. Bauer had the first touch. There it is, the swing. It's out of bounds. Big six. Just back to serve. Will come in for outside. Livingston got it off the block. Harris couldn't get her hand on it. And that one's Livingston gets the opportunity. Larson swings and it's long.
Putting up such a battle in those last 2 games. It was, I feel like my heart was beating out of my chest. I can't even imagine how the players were feeling.